You know, today gold is still sitting nearly at an all-time high. It's down a little bit from where it was, but it's still over $2,600 an ounce. And the question that I've been getting from a lot of people, even via email lately, is should I buy gold right now or should I wait? Should I buy silver right now or should I wait? And to be honest, those are very good questions, especially when it comes to gold sitting at all-time highs and even silver pushing up over $30 an ounce. But before we get into talking about this, I want to be very clear that at the end of this video, I'm not going to give you an answer. I don't want you sitting here for 8 minutes or 9 minutes or whatever this podcast ends up being, listening to me talk, expecting an answer, expecting me to tell you what to do, because I'm not going to do it. Another thing you're not going to hear me do, and I don't do on this channel, and I hope that a lot of you guys understand that, is that I'm not going to fearmonger or put headlines out there that make people think that this is their absolute last chance. I see the headlines all the time. I see the titles on YouTube videos all the time about how this is the end. This is the last time you're going to be able to buy silver this cheap. If you don't buy it now, it's going to be too late. I see titles saying gold's going to go to $10,000 an ounce. I see them all the time, and they bother me. And the reason they bother me is because people listen to them and they believe them and they buy into them and they buy into the hype and they get the FOMO and they make bad decisions. Now, look, I've said all of this on the channel before. I'm sure I'm going to get comments from people that say, we already know this. I understand you already know this, but I literally today, I was looking on YouTube. I was trying to come up with ideas for a video, to be honest with you, and I saw title after title after title from people talking about how important it is that you buy silver and that this is your last chance. Let me tell you, the truth is that nobody actually knows what's going to happen with silver, but if you look at silver historically, if you look at gold historically, there are always peaks, and after the peaks, there are always valleys. I'm not saying that it's going to drop. I don't actually know, but I'm saying that there is a much greater chance that you are going to see a pullback than you are going to continue to see it rise to new all-time highs, never stopping. I mean, for all of you crypto guys out there, this happened with Bitcoin multiple times now, where it rose and rose and rose, and then it hit 20,000 and it dropped, and then it sat there for a while, and then it rose and it rose and it rose, and it got to 60,000, 70,000, then it dropped. And I think people get into this belief, I think it starts getting into their head that this is it. I mean, it's got to keep going, right? I mean, watch it go up. I'm so excited. I need to get in on this. And then they FOMO into it, and then they buy when they shouldn't have bought. They spend money that they shouldn't have spent. I've seen the horror stories of the people that took out a second mortgage on their house to invest it into crypto. I remember back during the silver squeeze that you had people putting mortgages on their house and putting it all into silver. And sometimes people can afford to do that. Sometimes people can afford to make that mistake, but not all the time. And a lot of the people, the dreamers, these are the same people that buy into this hype. These are the same people that go to the gas station and they spend money on lottery tickets. And I'm not talking about the person that walks in and drops a $2 bill, right? You drop a $2 bill, you dream for a couple of days, it's really cool. I'm talking about the people that go into gas stations, and my son worked at a gas station. He told me horror stories where people would come in and they would drop hundreds of dollars on scratchers. They'd sit there and they'd scratch them right at the counter. How is this any different than going to a casino? I mean, people think that, you know, I live in Missouri, and the first time the casinos came to Missouri was on the riverboats. They had the riverboat casinos, and I think the restrictions are a little bit more lax on it these days. But my point is, you know, the lottery is basically just a casino for these people. They didn't need the riverboat casinos because they just walk into a gas station on payday and throw all of their money away for a hope and a dream. And again, I'm not knocking you. If you go to the gas station every once in a while and buy a $2 ticket and you want to dream on it for a couple of days, you know you're not going to win. You put the $2 down knowing you're not going to win, but it's fun to think about what would happen if you did. I get that. You know, that's actually $2. That's really not a lot of money to be able to dream and enjoy it that way. But again, I'm talking about these people that go in and they blow all their money on the scratchers. And that's the same mentality that happens with gold and silver. It's the same mentality that happens with crypto and with Bitcoin. There are people that buy into the hype, and there are people that buy into the fear mongering, and there are people that get the FOMO as a result. And that's why you won't hear it on this channel. I have zero interest in getting people to buy gold and silver when they shouldn't spend money on gold and silver. And keep in mind, I love gold and silver. I do think people should invest in gold and silver, but I do think that they should do so responsibly and logically and remove the emotion from it. FOMO comes from emotion. These videos that I'm talking about, they create the emotion that cause people to go out and make those mistakes. Now, I'm not, like I had just said, not saying that you shouldn't buy gold and silver, but when you see gold sitting at nearly all-time highs, you should really think twice about, is this a good time to do it or is it not? I mean, gold just hit $2,600 not long ago, and while I don't know if gold's ever going to go under $2,000 an ounce again or not. I do know that we will see future dips, and I do know that this is probably, and keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is probably not the last chance that you're going to have to be able to buy gold at around this price or even a little bit lower. In fact, I would argue that it is much more likely, and again, I don't have a crystal ball, but it is much more likely that you are going to eventually see a pullback. People are going to want to take profits. Even on the COMEX, you're going to see a pullback, and there may be better opportunities to buy gold and silver than there are right now. And keep in mind, like I just said, while I don't have the crystal ball, I know I just said that, but I have been stacking silver for multiple decades at this point. I have been stacking gold for multiple decades at this point. I've seen the rises. I saw what people were saying in 2011 when it almost hit $50 an ounce. They were saying the same thing that they're saying today, that this is the last chance. You're never going to see silver go back under $20 an ounce, and it happened. And maybe they're right. Maybe this is the time where we never see silver go back under 20. Maybe this is the time where we never see gold go under $2,000 an ounce again. But is it worth it to take that risk? Is it worth it to take all the money out of your savings? Is it worth it to put a second mortgage on your house? Is it worth it to put your family at risk just because some random YouTube channel, just because some random podcast or vlog or blog or whatever is saying that this is your last chance to buy gold? I don't believe that it is. I think everybody needs to take a step back before they make any major investment in anything, whether it's crypto, gold, silver, or whatever it may be, a stock. Maybe there's some, magical penny stock that you saw that you think you're going to put all your money in because it's going to blow up. Everybody needs to take a second and step back and think about what they are doing and if it's a really good idea, and if you're just not falling into a trap of somebody that wants you to do nothing but put all of your money into gold or silver. Now keep in mind, me saying this isn't me saying that you shouldn't be buying gold and silver though, because I do buy gold and silver. Even today I am buying silver, I am buying gold, I'm adding some stuff to my deep stack, but I'm doing so responsibly. I'm using money that I could afford to lose if it does have a pullback. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh my gosh, if I woke up tomorrow and gold was $2,000 an ounce, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't bother me at all. No, of course it would. Absolutely it would. Who would not be upset that, their whatever they're invested in lost over 20% of its value overnight? No, that would suck. That would absolutely suck. But what it would not do is put me in a dire financial situation. What it would not do is put my family at risk. What it would not do is put my house at risk. It would not put me in a financial bind that I can't get out of because I made these smart financial decisions in the first place, and I only put money there that I could afford to not be able to access for some time. Because while one thing I will say about these FOMO channels, when they talk about gold and silver, this is your last chance, it's going to go to, silver's going to go to 100, gold's going to go to 5,000. Listen, I think eventually they are going to be right, but is it going to be tomorrow? No, it's probably not going to be tomorrow. And there is time to do it responsibly. There is time to not only take care of yourself and your family and live a comfortable life while also continuing to stack gold and silver. You don't need to get it all at once. You don't need to take all of your money all at once and put it all into gold and silver today. You don't need to do that. You can do it in a safe, financially responsible way. You can stack gold and silver without buying into the FOMO. And if you want to keep clicking on these videos and watching them, have fun, enjoy them, but do not buy into the hype. Take a step back, like I already said. Think about it for a second before you make that decision that could be a bad, life-changing experience for you. Think about the fact that gold can go back to $2,000 an ounce. Think about the fact that silver can get back into the 20s. Yes, I said it would suck. I would wake up and that would feel horrible. Absolutely would feel bad. I'd be looking at it and be like, man, it's worth so much less than it was now. But that night, I would still be going to bed and putting my head on a pillow in a bed in a house with a roof over my head because I didn't put it all into gold and silver. I didn't take that second mortgage out. I didn't put myself in that position. I would not be falling asleep on the street because I lost it all because of some random talking head that's FOMOing you into gold, silver, crypto, investments, whatever it's going to be. Guys, be smart, be financially responsible, seek real financial advice if you need to, whatever it may be. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to the talking heads on YouTube. I'm not a financial advisor, and none of them are as well. They all probably have a reason to get you into gold and silver. And yes, I am sponsored by SD Bullion. I absolutely love that company. It is a company that wants you to buy gold and silver, but here I am telling you that you should still do so financially responsible. And if you want to buy gold and silver, make sure you check out my channel sponsor, SD Bullion. They do have a lot of great deals. Check out the Docs Deals page. Take advantage of the dips, take advantage of the sales, take advantage of the stuff with low premium. You don't have to go out and buy everything, but make sure when you do make that decision and you make a financially responsible decision that you make sure you also buy those good deals. We've talked about those all the time on this channel. We're not going to get into it here. So listen, I hope you enjoyed my rant today. Guys, thank you so much for listening to my channel. I'm sorry if I offended you because you're a big fan of one of these channels that I'm referring to. You probably know who they are, but I do appreciate you being here. And again, please be financially responsible. It means so much to me that people that stack gold and silver continue to stack gold and silver 20 years from now rather than living on the street and begging for food. Now, before we go, I want to leave you with one little last wise word of wisdom. This is something that I heard from my dad, but I'm sure he didn't come up with it. You may have heard it elsewhere. I don't know, but it was about the lottery, since we talked about the lottery earlier. And my dad used to tell me, he said, the lottery is a tax on people that can't do math. Just keep that in mind. And if you want to know what I mean by that, again, I'm not saying that $2 that you spend to dream for a couple of days is a bad investment. It's fun to dream for a $2 bill. But if you go out and blow a bunch of money on lottery hoping that you're going to win, let me refer you to something. There is a movie called Jerry and Marge Go Large. It is a true story. It actually stars Bryan Cranston, which is one of my favorite actors. It's a true story about a couple that found a way to cheat the lottery system and actually put the odds in their favor so that they're guaranteed to win. Listen, they bought, and this was based on a true story. If you watch that movie, they bought hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lottery tickets. He had them in those huge crates that you can buy in Walmart, stacked up in the garage, just stacks and stacks and stacks of hundreds of thousands of lottery tickets, right? Not once. They won a lot of money, but not once did they ever hit the jackpot with all those lottery tickets. So what do you think the odds of your one little lottery ticket, or even your 20 lottery tickets if you want to go blow 40 bucks on Powerball? What do you think your odds of winning it are when these guys went through as many as they did? Watch the movie. It's very interesting, but just keep in mind when you're seeing all of those tubs of tickets in that movie that they never hit the jackpot. Not once. Crazy to think about. All right, guys, again, thank you so much for watching and listening. I really hope that you enjoyed today's podcast. If you did, please leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe. All of those things really help me out, and I would greatly appreciate it. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.